Hello. Good morning, everybody. Welcome again to my channel this morning. It is Thursday, and it's close to the end of the weekend, and I am feeling good. How are you feeling today? I'm so glad that you're with me and here to share a thought. Today's topic is going to be about friendship and relationship in general, because yeah, I don't know, I'm going to talk about that and what for me, like, you know, in a perspective is your own perspective on how you perceive things, and we're all entitled to have our opinions and everything of how we see and want and desire relationships. For me, first of all, like, I just want to express this about relationships and friendships, and I really don't see necessarily any different. And also with people that I just meet for the first time, love is unconditional for me, and so that means that I love unconditionally, and that's with every person on the planet. What that means is that I don't have to spend time with the people if they're bringing you down, or the negativity that how you see that, and they don't see that negativity, or to be in the space of people. I just prefer to be, and I don't want to talk about this in a negative sense, because this happens to all of us, because I just simply don't want to get into this kind of space, because it's my choice, and how we spend our time with people that we love. In the sense, I mean, we love everybody, do you know what I mean? So it is a big world, but that we prefer to spend our time with, because they're not sucking your energy, as you'd say. Because there are certain people in your life that could do that could really suck your energy and play the blame game or the shame game about how they want you to be, so they could just feel much better instead of considering maybe perhaps a whole bigger picture. You know, there are people who are suffering in your life, and you know, and we are there for our friends. And I think that, you know, my friendships that I have and I consider really close to me are not conditional. So there's no, like, a right or wrong way that I have to be. I respect every single person that I know, because I have compassion in my heart. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking about these things every day. But I think, you know, some people have requirements, and that's really all good and okay. But, you know, recently I have experienced some attacks on me a little bit. But, you know, this happens because I think people cannot find their own, people in a way can find their own paths. To find their own unconditional love within themselves. And I'm just saying, this is my perspective and how I choose to be, how I choose to love. If love for me is unconditional, it's in my heart, and I hold it in my heart forever. And forgiveness is constantly there, so no one can really hurt me, especially verbally, or, you know, if they strike out on me, that's a totally different thing, because that's just not respect. But, you know, like, conditional relationships, conditional friendships is codependency. I have come through so much of that in my life that brings me to my talks and brings me to my choices, and to realize that I am not going to experience blame from another person because I am not behaving how they want me to behave, and how they find that I should behave in a certain way so they could feel a bit better. So that's like, that is conditional for me. And but at the same time, I have such compassion for people who do this, because they do not know what they do. You know, it's like, it really is, I think, simple that way, and they look everything on the outside. Perhaps people do look for everything on the outside to give them this fulfillment of something they feel like they lack, and that is love and respect towards themselves and not looking on the outside for it. And I think that, you know, sometimes within friendships, say friendships, like they start and they can flourish and they can develop, and you know, and after some time, maybe people, you know, when people become codependent on friends and they require them to be certain ways, when all that starts to become conditional. Say for instance, like I've had people in my past where I didn't call on their birthday, or if something happened to them dramatically, and I didn't respond, but I knew that they were okay. Or like, you didn't, you know, if you choose to be friends with someone that they don't want you to be friends with, all of these kind of conditional things. So I don't really play with that. Like, I'm kind of over that. And so it's like, I have this, you know, when it's just sometimes so overwhelming, when you say you support a friend and you're supporting a friend and you talk to a friend for hours and hours, and you lend an ear and support and advice, you know, only your advice, not trying to convince them to do anything, but necessarily that you just exchange, you know, like information and advice and opinions, because it's just that, you know, and they don't go along with that, and you talk for a long time, and they suffer and they suffer, and you find them in the suffering. And I'm here to tell you right now that it's okay. And it has been for me to just like not have, at one point, just, you have to tell that person, one has to start taking responsibility for their own suffering, and the blame game and the shame game that is played, because you feel as though you have to look on the outside of yourself, and that person has to behave and to support me and to and you know, there are many ways to support someone. And you know, I feel like it's like when that kind of thing happens and it's conditional, and you hear it over and over, there comes a point where you just don't want to spend your time that way. And it's like, I have no problem walking away from friendships like that, who suck my energy and blame me for their feelings, and blame me for, you know, for being inspirational, and blame me for, I don't know, that's just what happens. And people, that happens, and that happens in the world, in our world, and it's conditional, and it's all around us. I don't play though, I just don't play that, and my friends don't have to be a certain way at all. Like, you know, there are times when my friends have perhaps hurt me, but not like purposefully. But when people are purposely attacking you, like, I don't know, it is just something that I don't want in my life, and you know, and so I walk away from situations like that. And I have integrity for myself, because I want to spend time with people. And that's what my inspirational, motivational, I don't know, morning talks, if that's what you get from them, is for me to connect to people, and to connect to people on a fundamental, authentic way. And I do pick and choose the people I spend my time with, and who I want to talk to and everything, when it's really, you know, all about them. So there comes a time where people have to start taking responsibility for that. So that's just my opinion. It doesn't mean that I'm right or wrong. It just means that that's how I see it. So I can love people from afar and really wish them well, but I'm not going to be blamed for their feelings or lack of support they give them to themselves, and that we're supposed to fulfill certain roles to be that. That's okay, because if that's your requirement, then I guess I'm not your friend. But I don't need to be attacked. Anyway, that's just a like I don't know, like a serious, sincere talk about blame and shame, you know, because that is just part of our lives, I think. And you know, it can happen with strangers too, and it happens with people that you know for a very long time. Oh, so it's not this is a very, very interesting topic to talk about, because, you know, at the same time, there's forgiveness in my heart for a particular person which is represents perhaps a lot of people who are suffering. So you don't have to spend time with them, and you can love them from afar, and forgiveness is everything. So I forgive. I will always forgive and forgive. And maybe I will even forget, because, you know, I've done things too in the past that maybe I've hurt people. I'm sure I have, and I didn't intentionally mean to do that. So I don't think they do either. They're coming from a lack of self-esteem, maybe, perhaps. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to this and this morning, and tomorrow's Friday, and I have a lot of things to do. I'm going to Antwerp tomorrow, and because I have a few meetings, so that's Belgium, and so anyhow, I'll be seeing you in the morning. Have a beautiful day, and thank you so much for watching me, and enjoy your coffee this morning, and if you see this a little bit later in the day, I hope you had a beautiful morning and a great day. All right. Love you all, and be yourself. Just be yourself and love. I respect you and I love you. Thank you so much.